Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 8.3. 8.3 is talking about multiplying polynomials again. This time we're talking about not just multiplying by a monomial, but other scenarios such as a binomial times a binomial. And there's a specific process for that exact situation. It's called the FOIL method. So the FOIL method is described right here for you. What it stands for is FOIL stands for the firsts, the outers, the insides, and the last. So in the specific example you see here, it's color coded. My first gets multiplied by my firsts, my outsides get multiplied by the outsides, and the insides get multiplied together, and then the last ones, so the second number of both terms. And what you end up doing is just giving yourself a process here to multiply two binomials together. All right, so here's what the first example is going to look like. I'll try to color code things for us as well. So my firsts, I'm going to multiply my 2x times my x, and that's going to get me a 2x to the second power. And then my outsides, I'm going to multiply my 2x times my 6, which will get me a plus 12x. My insides are this 1 times the x, which will give me just 1x. And then my last get multiplied together, that's the 1 times the 6, which will give me a plus 6. Now I'm going to combine the like terms that we have. And it's usually going to be my insides that are going to be my like terms. Not always, but usually. And then we'll be able to just simplify this process. So when we combine like terms, we bring down the other things. This turns into a 13 x's, and then just bring down the plus 6. And that is then our official simplified answer. Here's another one for us to try. I'll do the same exact thing. We'll color code it. We have a h times a h, using our rules from before, makes an h squared. So that's our firsts. My outers, h times a negative 12 makes a negative 12h. My inners, 6 times h, which makes a negative 6h. And then my lasts, a negative 6 times a negative 12, which makes a positive 72. We're going to combine our like terms, and they happen to be, again, the inside ones. So we get ourselves with an h to the second. These two things combined make a negative 18 h's, and then plus 72 just comes down. And that, again, is how we FOIL. So if you could try this next one on your own, we'll do it in class just as a warm-up for us. And then we have example number 4. Example 4. Now this one is a binomial times a trinomial. There's 3 chunks to the trinomial. And it's similar to the FOIL method, but it doesn't necessarily work in the exact same way. So this time I'm going to take my 3a, my first, and I'm going to multiply it to all items in the trinomial. So my 3a times an a squared makes a 3a to the third. My 3a times a negative 12a makes a negative 36a to the second. And my 3a times 1 makes a positive 3a. Now the next thing I'm going to do is going to multiply the second number in my binomial to all items in the trinomial. So this is going to be a 4 times an a squared, which would be a plus 4a squared, and then a 4 times a negative 12a, which will get us a negative 48a, and then a 4 times that 1 will get us a plus 4. Now we're searching for like terms. I can see that I have a squareds that can go together, and I have just regular a's that can also go together. So my circled items and my box items are going to go together. So let's write our final answer then. We have our 3a to the third. Our a squareds combine together to make a negative 32a squared. And then our a's combine together to make a negative 45a. And then we just bring down the plus 4. And that is my simplified answer. And here's another one that you can try on your own. And that's how this works, folks. We're just talking about distributing and being able to combine like terms. So that's the skills that are involved. There's nothing entirely brand new here. Just got to remember your FOIL, your firsts, your outers, your inners, your lasts. That's all it is. All right, that's the Burma Nation. We're signing off. Peace out.